You have a Democrat media that has called a Republican president a tyrant, a dictator, said it would be the end of the United States of America as we know it, said he would make us a laughing stock on the global stage. And those are exact quotes, actually, of what they said about Abraham Lincoln. Saw the Lincoln hat, you might have wanted me to remember that. Those were words that the Democrat-led media said about the first ever Republican president before he was shot and assassinated in 1865. So think about that in the moment that we live in today. We came within, Lincoln actually spoke at this convention. It was at a Republican convention. It was at a Republican state convention, I think in 1858, when he said a house divided cannot stand. That was on the eve of a nation that was on the brink of civil war.
That's right.
I think we came within a hair's breadth of a second civil war in this country, and we avoided it.
Yes.
And I think it's because God intervened. And I believe that he has given us a chance to answer his call.
Amen.
Hello. Yes, God. It's Amania here. Yes, the conservative poet. Yes, I am ready to do your work, to do your will, to do your bidding. Yes, Lord. Let's go. The Lord just called, and I'm getting ready to do his work.
He's going to be an awesome vice president. I've actually known him for over a decade. He and I were law school classmates.
No way.
And we both grew up in Southwest Ohio. Like maybe 10, 15 minutes from where he grew up was where our parents' first house was. And I think he is going to be not only a good policy voice, but his story is an American dream story. And I think that he will give inspiration to a lot of people, but he also wants policies that allow a lot of people to live the same dream that he has. And I love him. He's in politics for the right reasons, and he's honest. And I just think he's a great choice. He's going to be outstanding.
Do you think he's going to attract young voters?
I hope so. I think he should. I think he's going to attract more than that. I think he's going to attract a lot of people who are hungry for economic mobility in the country. And I think he's going to attract even a lot of people who aren't traditional Republicans. And so I just think he's a great choice.
JD Vance is the guy, the VP pick. But could our boy, Vivek Ramaswamy, be the guy to become the next senator in Ohio? Let's go. Hello, fellow patriots. Hello, friends, and welcome to the Conservative Poet. My name is Amania. Here on the channel, I do political commentary, reactions. I throw some humor, some parody in there to drive home what I call giving you the hammer. And so if that's something that's interesting to you, then you've come to the right place. Stay a while, interact with the video, and I'm going to see you in there right now. Guys, VP pick is JD Vance. Now, I have to say that I have not covered JD Vance a lot, so I don't know a lot, all of the ins and outs. I know he's a tough guy. I know the work that he's been doing in the Senate. He's been doing some great things. I know that he will make a great vice president. I already can see that. He's got strong leadership skills. I mean, the whole world is buzzing about him right now. So he's the guy that President Trump picked. And so President Trump has his reasons. As you guys know, I'm always Team Vivek. Like, I wanted it to be Vivek. But since Vivek is not the guy for the VP pick, but I'm sure he might be able to do something in President Trump's cabinet. But then there were videos floating around that, hey, now that JD Vance is going to be the VP, that seat is going to be open. And so why not let Vivek Ramaswamy take that over so he can go and handle, some of these weak senators, So I'm like, yeah, that would make a great role for him because, he's so talented. Being with President Trump in the cabinet, he's going to do great things. And if he goes for the Senate seat, more great things. So we're talking a little bit today about the future of our boy, Vivek Ramaswamy. Here is Vivek with Sky News Australia, having an interview, and it covers two things that I want to discuss in this segment, where he talks a little bit about his friendship with JD and how they've grown together and they're friends outside of all of this. This is who Vivek Ramaswamy is friends with. So it's a good thing. And then they talk about a little bit about JD Vance and being the guy taking on Kamala if this is who the Democrats put out there. So we're going to look at that right now.
Vivek Ramaswamy, thank you for joining Sky News Australia.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
So what do you think about JD Vance as the pick for Vice President?
I think he's an outstanding pick. He is somebody who I've actually personally known for a very long time. We were law school classmates, funny enough, and I've known him on a personal level outside of politics. And one thing I like about him is he's somebody who engages with disagreement in a thoughtful way, and he's also somebody who has lived the American dream. He didn't come from elite backgrounds, but he has succeeded at the highest levels in the country. And that speaks to me personally. My parents came to this country with no money. I've built multi-billion-dollar companies. He has a very similar story. And I hope that gives a lot of inspiration to Americans. And he's also going to help take the America First agenda to the next level, which is something I care a lot about as well.
Why do you think Donald Trump picked JD Vance? It was a pretty competitive field.
Yeah, I can't speak for what went behind that. It's obviously hot off the press, but I do think he's going to be an excellent vice president, and that would be a pretty good reason to pick somebody.
People who are critics of JD Vance say he's a never-Trumper, that he said some critical things about Donald Trump. What would you say to them?
I would say that actually that could be a unique attribute for him, if you think about it, and making the case to voters who did not vote for Trump in 2016. He could say something similar. You know what? I didn't vote for Trump in 2016 either, but here's why I came around. So I think that's actually could be what people frame as a negative, could actually be a very positive attribute. To me, I think he's one of the best fighters we have in the Senate. So the Senate is going to miss him. That may be the only negative, and I mean that as a compliment to him. But he's a great man. He's a good man, good family. We know them well. Our families are close, and we are so proud of them and excited for what's ahead for him.
Seen that, heard that, good. The events over the weekend really had me stressed out. Like, we literally just watched President Trump almost murdered. And so one of the things that helped me out was burning my candles. And so it helps out in any kind of stressful situation. Very nice scented candle, cinnamon, apples, all kinds of different smells to really help you ease into the daily life of what we see in this society. Because, friends, it is quite stressful. So I have them on the website for sale, orlandopatriots.com. Grab some for you, for friends, 30% off. It really does help out the channel as well, so I can continue to do the work that I do here. So thank you very much, and God bless you. So yeah, JD Vance, Vivek Ramaswamy, college friends, their wives are friends. So yeah, they've been great friends. But my point here is that Vivek Ramaswamy is in good company, or JD Vance is in good company. And so these are two strong, able, capable men. And I think they're going to do great in either role they play. But she talked about in that interview about JD Vance and his history towards Donald Trump and, being against Donald Trump. And Vivek makes a really, really great point of, you know what? Who better to bring over the people who are on the fence, like the never Trumpers, right? They're going to say, look, here's a guy who didn't agree 100% with Donald Trump, who was not on the Trump train, right? But here he is, he's made a complete and total, right turn, right? Right turn. And so he is on the Trump train at this point, and he's become an advocate fighter for President Trump. Who better to sort of reach across the aisle to those people and say, hey, it's not so bad over here. Donald Trump is not that bad. So he's that guy to be put in that place, because he was once on the fence about Trump, and now he's become an avid Trumper. And so that is a great position to be in. And that's going to bring those people in who are not, who may not agree with everything that Trump says, who may not like his tweets, but they're going to say, you know what, JD Vance is our guy, and we trust him, and we're okay with this, and we're going to come on board for Trump Vance, for that Trump Vance ticket. Trump Vance. I like it. Trump Vance. Yeah. Trump Vance.
I've heard one of the reasons Donald Trump liked JD Vance is he's known to be a really good debater, and he'd be good against Kamala Harris. How do you think that debate's going to play out?
I think it will be, if it's Kamala Harris, I think that JD will mop the floor, but we will see if it's Kamala Harris or not. JD's thoughtful, and he's somebody who I've engaged in, a lot of thoughtful discussions on even topics where he and I don't entirely agree, but he's pushed me and I've pushed him to think about things in different ways. And that's what we need more of in our country. It's rare in our politics, and I'm rooting for more of that. So I wish him well.
When it comes to this election,
Cackling Kamala is not going to stand a chance once JD Vance comes out with the punches. So, she doesn't stand a chance. And Vivek Ramaswamy is right on point to say that he is going to mop the floor with her, sweep the floor with her, slap her around a few times. Yeah. That's how this is going to go down, because Tulsi Gabbard can take down Kamala Harris. But the other side is saying, oh no, Kamala is poised. Kamala is a great debater. Kamala, she's going to get the job done. She's going to finish the job. She'll be the one to take down JD Vance. Yeah. Okay.
All of her speeches for the last 2 weeks.
She's been fantastic.
I thought she was fantastic 4 years ago. Anyone that hasn't watched, I hope that JD Vance today challenges Kamala Harris to 6 debates, because she would wipe the floor with him. She's hit it for whatever I will stay out of what the Democrats decide to do.
What do you think is going to be the one thing that really decides who wins?
I think it's going to be a hunger for pride, actually. You could say the economy, you could say the border, but I think people are hungry to be proud of this country again. And whichever president is going to make you more proud of being an American, that's what people are hungry for right now more than anything. And I think right now, runaway, without question, hands-down decision, that's Donald Trump. So.
And we're all horrified by what happened to Donald Trump, the assassination attempt. Yeah. What are your feelings now, a few days beyond this? That fist bump was iconic, but where does America go to from here?
Well, I think we live in a moment where people are hungry for national unity. I think it was a miracle that Donald Trump was not struck, and we are lucky to be given that chance. Now what are we going to do with it? And my hope is we live in a moment where we can still disagree vehemently with the left's ideology, but without seeing our fellow neighbors as our enemies. And I think we can do both of those things at once. How well we do it will determine how successful we are as a party.
That's Vivek. Seen that, heard that, good. Vivek is absolutely right. Right now in this country, what we need is a strong leader to guide us out of the mess that we have been put in by a very weak leader. Now, we all seen the debate. We all saw how a strong leader and a weak leader are. Right now, what we have to do is to rally behind a strong leader, and we need to find our pride. We've lost our pride because they've given it away to, the alphabet and their pride. But we need to find national pride. I mean, they talk about, when you say national pride, like it's some sort of, nasty word, nasty business. But if you don't love your country, no matter what she's done, no matter what the history, there's a problem. You have to love the soil of where you are. You have to have some sort of pride in self. Because if you don't have pride in self, you don't have pride in country, you don't have pride in where you live, you don't have pride in your community, then you have nothing. Because it's pride that makes us want to have a better community. It's pride that makes us want to have a better country. It's pride that makes us want to be a better us, like to get yourself cleaned up every day, to make up your house, to make up your bed, it's pride to go and clean up the trash from your community. It's pride to say, no, I'm not going to put trash in my community. It's pride that says, I want to preserve our Constitution. It's pride that says, I want to preserve, the founding of this country. It's pride that says, we want to make this country better. And after what happened with this weekend with President Trump nearly being shot to death, it's pride in him. It's that fight fight in us. We as a country, we have to stand up and fight and have pride in our country, in our community, and in our president. Because if we don't have pride in a president, then the country has no pride. Because if at the top it's failing, then it's going to ricochet to the bottom. And so at the top, we need a strong man. And right now, we've got Donald Trump and JD Vance to advance the MAGA agenda and make America great again. I get a little bit passionate, friends, as you all know. So here we're going to get into the real conversation about Vivek in reference to just maybe he might be the one to take the seat of JD Vance in the Senate. Let's hear him out.
How does JD Vance help the ticket?
So I don't really view it necessarily that way. A lot of an analysis, or what you say, pundits would check the box on what
heads,
ethnicity or whatever. I think you look at it more in a bigger way, that JD brings a lot of intangibles to the table. He's an American dream story. That speaks to me, but it speaks to a lot of other people like me in the country. I'm the kid of legal immigrants who came here. My parents did with no money. I've lived the American dream. JD was born in humble circumstances. He's lived the American dream as well. His wife, Usha, somebody who's a friend of our family as well. She was also a law school classmate. I think she could be a big attribute in this campaign in reaching non-traditional voters. And even further for JD himself, he is somebody who has a unique vantage point for bringing in new voters. Here's what it is. He wasn't somebody who was a Donald Trump evangelist back in 2016. So I think that's actually
quite the opposite.
Yeah, well, I acknowledge that. But what I would say is he can actually reach a lot of other people who also weren't in the Donald Trump camp in 2016. And in a very personal and authentic way, he can say, look, here's why I moved. And here's why I want you to come with us as well. So I think that's unique.
You're saying that you think his evolution on the former president could actually be relatable to some independents?
Yes, I think it could actually be an attribute to bringing independents and even some Democrats in. A lot of working class Democrats, a lot of union members across the country. Trump is already strong with a lot of those audiences, but JD, I think, plays even further to those strengths. And I think there's a good chance this Trump-Vance ticket could be the most formidable presidential ticket, certainly in my lifetime. And I'm looking forward to hopefully seeing them succeed at a big scale.
So, JD Vance, the American dream. Vivek Ramaswamy, the American dream come to life. Mark Robinson, the American dream. You know, all of these people who really had nothing and rose up to be where they are. JD Vance, Senator, Vivek Ramaswamy, you know, medical breakthroughs, Mark Robinson, governor. Like all of these people, these are the stories of America that pushes us and say, you know what, America is a great country. And that's why we have this border situation where everybody wants to pour in here because of the opportunities that's here. And so some might argue, well, JD Vance is a white boy, and so he was born with white privilege, but not necessarily. You know, they always forget that it's really not about skin color. At least that's what I believe. It's really not about skin color. They make it about skin color because there are poor whites, there are poor blacks, there are rich whites, there are rich blacks, there are rich Indians, and there are rich whoever's, and poor as well. And so it's about the person and what their capabilities and ability is for what it is that they want for their life. So you work hard and you get it done. And so the American dream is being fulfilled right here for people who started with nothing. And so I always go back to that, like, if you can do it, I can do it. Again, it's about the hard work of what you're willing to put in. So today we have the ticket Vance, Trump, Vance, Trump, Vance. It could have been a Trump Ramaswamy. It could have been a Trump Rubio. It could have been a Trump whoever, right? But today it's a Trump Vance ticket. And again, the American dream displayed right here in front of us. And this is going to lead us into Vivek Ramaswamy and what's his role going to be in the next couple of years during this administration.
If they do succeed in November, it would obviously open up a Senate seat in Ohio. Would you consider it?
I haven't gotten that question today at all, actually. No, the reality is it's hot off the press. To be frank, I would strongly consider it if I were asked to serve, but I would also want to have a serious conversation with President Trump about the other ways I could have an impact on the country. My top passion is taking on the regulatory state. I think that's a nonpartisan issue that's actually impeding our economy, in some ways even threatens the American model of self-governance. I think that administrative state is far too big. There are ways to address that from the executive branch. There are also things that need to be done from Congress and the Senate, too. So I look forward to those conversations after President Trump is successfully reelected with JD Vance.
I'll ask because I've got to check the box. Has anybody reached out to you from Governor DeWine's office to broach this issue yet?
I have not discussed this with Governor DeWine.
Anybody from his office?
I haven't discussed it with President DeWine. I haven't discussed it with Governor DeWine. But I look forward to evaluating what the future holds in store. I would strongly consider it if asked, but I think there are a lot of other ways to serve this country. And this isn't about what comes after victory. This is about what our path is to victory in November.
To that point, and then I'll move on, but I want to ask you, talk about the ways that you think you can serve former President Trump. Chief of Staff in the White House, is that something that has been brought up to you as a possible role?
We've talked about a lot of different possibilities from the cabinet. President Trump and I have had, we talk regularly. I spoke to him, actually most recently, it was after midnight on the night that he suffered that injury, that tragedy, and the assassination attempt on Saturday night. One of the things I admire about him is he's always strong, he's always energetic. And I think we get along, and we want to save the country together. But that's going to come in a lot of different forms. So we've talked about different ideas potentially in a cabinet to other ways of driving change. And, today I think adds one more development that'll give us a lot to consider.
Seen that, heard that, good. So, yes, once JD Vance and President Trump advance to the next level of all of this, that seat is going to be open. And why not a Vivek Ramaswamy? He has proved his abilities to lead. He has proved his ability, his loyalty to the party, to MAGA. So why not put another strong, able conservative who is able to execute into that seat? And the governor is going to have the power to do so. And so, yeah, I would say if President Trump wants to use Vivek in this capacity and say, hey, you know what? Let's hold on to that seat. Let's hold on to that and let's put Vivek in that seat. Then I think he would do amazing. He would flourish at anything. There is nothing that you can put this man into that he will not flourish, because he's a businessman, a business mind. He will run it like a business. And he will kick up the waters, when these, bills are coming through the cracks in the middle of the night, like come around, where they're saying it's 1,000 pages and everybody's they have 2 days, not even 2 days, they have 24 hours to go through it and sign off. No, I feel like he would be somebody who would stand up and say, no, this is wrong. And he would shed light on things like that. So he would make a great person in the Senate. But again, he would make a great person as chief of staff somewhere. He would make, because he talks a lot about taking down the 3-letter organization, CIA, FBI, all of those things. He would be, I don't know what that position would be called, but he would be great at, focusing on those as well in the administration. So Vivek Ramaswamy's future is bright, as we can see, and he is young. And I would not be surprised if he were to be looking at a ticket in 2028, if he would be looking to run. And that's going to be a conversation for another day, because we've got some strong, capable young men who can take on that challenge in 2028 to literally take the baton. And that includes JD Vance becoming president afterwards. So this is a whole new game. Like this, his name wasn't even in the thing. We were talking, 2028 candidates. We were looking at DeSantis, maybe Vivek, obviously, but now JD Vance, not just VP, he could take the baton and become president after Donald Trump. So it's exciting. I'm really excited to have this conversation today about our boy Vivek Ramaswamy and the great things that's looking forward to for his future in our party, in our country, in the MAGA movement overall. So Vivek Ramaswamy. Friends, we are living history right now. The conversation that we're having, the conversation about Vivek Ramaswamy, JD Vance, and this whole thing is historic. And I'm so proud that I have a voice, a platform where I can come and add to the conversation, add my thoughts and my views on these things in this conversation. And you can come along as well by adding your voice, by sharing the content, liking it, if don't like it, but at least engage with it, commenting, giving your opinions. Let's have a conversation. Let's have a debate, if you will, in the conversation. And that was going to move this video forward. I want this video to go far and wide. So help me to do that. Push it, share it, so we can get there, because it is our future that we're talking about, and everybody is a part of it, because we are documenting what this channel is doing and what all of us content creators are doing. We are documenting and we are putting our 2 cents into the conversation. And so I want all of us to come together and push this video as far as it can go, so that YouTube can share it with everyone. So thank you so much for doing that. I want you to do it right now. Put it all on your socials, whatever it is. And I'm going to have short clippings of this video. So there'll be bite sizes, shorts, maybe 2-minuters and things like that. So I can just pull certain conversations, and then that way you can share them as well. So I am just so grateful for what God is doing in my life with this platform. And with your help, we will go even further. We just hit 6,000 subscribers just on Monday. And so I'm super excited for all of the new subscribers that has come on. Thank you for hitting that button. God bless you all. And so I say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. And so I will leave it there, friends, and bid you a good day, good night, good evening, wherever you are. And I will say once again, God bless you. God bless Donald Trump. God bless Vivek Ramaswamy. God bless JD Vance. And God bless these United States of America. I'll see you in another video.